Boston Celtics suffer a letdown in loss to the Los Angeles Lakers, who played this game without LeBron James or Anthony Davis. It was a disappointing loss which I will cover, but I will mainly talk about the narrative surrounding the Boston Celtics that has me so pissed. Right here on the Indian Celtics show, let's talk Celtic basketball. Hello and welcome along to another episode of the Indian Celtics show. My name is Mohit Sharma and I am the host of the only podcast you need for the coverage of your Boston Celtics. You can find this podcast on Spotify and right here on YouTube. Make sure to give the channel a subscribe, hit the like button, and hop into the comment section. Let's talk Celtic basketball. So, the Boston Celtics loses today 114-105 against the inspired Lakers, who played without LeBron and AD, as I said. It was a disappointing loss. Without a doubt, we were outplayed and outworked from the beginning to the end by the Lakers, who, if I'm being honest, are playing to not get traded at this moment because they are suffering, but it did not look like it today. They beat the craps out of our Celtics. They beat the craps out of our starting lineups all the time. The starting lineup was so bad throughout the game. It was all minuses all around in the plus-minus category. Minus 19, minus 22, minus 12, minus 9. The starters were bad and the starters were outplayed. The starters were outworked. The starters were out-hustled. Thank God for Peyton Pritchard. Thank God for Sam Hauser for making all those threes, keeping us in the game, keeping the game respectable, keeping the score respectable. I don't know about keeping the game respectable. Neemias Queta, shout out Neemias Queta. Always playing hard, playing with effort. But the Celtics starters did not. And kudos to the Lakers, kudos go to Austin Reeves for his 32 points, shooting the lights out of the basketball, showing his range. D'Angelo Russell, 16 points, 14 assists. Can't believe how he turned into prime Chris Paul today. It was what it was. The Lakers outplayed the Celtics, who everyone knows were expecting LeBron and AD to come to town and so they can show out against the greats of the basketball game, but it wasn't to be, and it's a natural letdown. That's what I believe. That's what everyone believes. Guess what? This happens all the time in the NBA. A team is geared up for superstars. They don't play and they always relax a little and believe it's going to be easy, but it's never easy. It's all the time in the NBA. The other team has NBA players too, and they showed out and they ran the Celtics out of the gym. But guess what? As you said, I've said this multiple times, it happens all the time in the NBA. The best teams relax against teams they're supposed to beat. It's not all the time, but this thing happens a lot in the NBA. But when it happens with the Boston Celtics, they're mentally weak. Mentally weak? What do you mean they're mentally weak? I heard Charles Barkley on NBA TNT saying Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are very talented players, are very capable players, but they're nice guys. And they're not mentally tough. Nice guys are not mentally tough. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the same guys that in their rookie and sophomore season, respectively, took LeBron James. Yes, LeBron James, who many consider to be the greatest player of all time, not me, don't quote me, but many people do, took him to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The same Tatum and Brown, the same Jason Tatum who dropped 50 against Kevin Durant in a playoff game, same Tatum and Brown who swept the Brooklyn Nets, same Jason Tatum who went down in Giannis Antetokounmpo's house, down 3-2 and dropped 46. He's mentally weak. Same Jason Tatum who went into Game 7 last year of the Eastern Conference Semifinals against the MVP, Joel Embiid, James Harden, and dropped 50? He's mentally weak? I mean, what are we doing here? Because of this loss and a couple of losses against the Clippers and the Nuggets, who are, in my opinion, the top two teams in the Western Conference, the Celtics are weak? What? I mean, I don't understand. Denver Nuggets. Let's look at the Denver Nuggets, the defending champions, who should be held to the higher standards than the Boston Celtics. I don't understand why the Boston Celtics are held to such high standards. Man, I mean, the last time we won a championship was in 2008. We're trying to win a championship. It's been 15 years since we've won a championship, and we're held to the highest standards for no reason at all. We're building. Nuggets are the defending champions. You know what? Nuggets have lost to the Houston Rockets 3 times this season. No one bats an eye. Nuggets lose to contending teams like OKC. They're 0-3 against OKC. No one bats an eye. Including one time they got spanked. They got blown out by OKC. No one cares. And when we get blown out against the Clippers, oh man, the Celtics don't work hard. The Celtics only win on talent. Man, where were you all when we spanked the Clippers by 40 in their house? No one was talking about that. And when we lose, oh, everyone's so quick to remind Kawhi Leonard didn't play in that game. Well, Kristaps Porzingis did not play in that game. And we lost to the Nuggets by 2 points. We lost to the defending champions by 2 points. In what, in my opinion, was by far the best game of the season. And based on that game, the Celtics are not ready for a championship. The Celtics only will. I absolutely hate this narrative that the Boston Celtics are the most talented team in the NBA and they only win based on talent. I mean, what are we talking about here? 2 years ago, the same year the Celtics went into the NBA Finals, they were struggling in the playoff picture. They were below 500 before they turned their season around. It was the same time when everyone was talking Tatum and Brown cannot play together. We have to break this team up. And what the Celtics do, we work hard, we figure it out, we become one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, we go all the way to the NBA Finals, and that's only because we're talented. How on earth we become from a team that cannot play together to a team that is the most talented team in the NBA? The Boston Celtics never get credit for their good performances. I remember we coming down big in the fourth quarter against the Minnesota Timberwolves, the number 1 seed in the West. Is that not a good team? We came down, I think, near double digits in the fourth quarter, out-executed the Timberwolves. Everyone talks about Tatum not executing in the clutch. How about that game? We out-executed Timberwolves, we defeated the Bucks, and I never hear appreciation for the Boston Celtics. Every time we win, we're supposed to win because we're so goddamn talented. And every time we lose, see? That's why they're weak. That's why they're mentally weak. That's why they can't win a championship. Man, this narrative has gone. I've had it up to here with this thing, man. I don't understand why they put the Celtics to such high standards. We're trying to build for a championship. Man, just like any other team, man. I don't know. Just like any other team, we will lose. We are not the KD Warriors. I don't know why everyone expects us to blow everyone out. What do you expect us to win? 73 games? Come on now. They were the best team in the NBA because they won 73. There's only one. And you expect the Celtics to blow out everyone. And every time we don't even blow out teams, we win close, it's a bad thing for the Boston Celtics. And I've had it up to here, man. Shaquille O'Neal was talking about Celtics being not ready for a championship. Hell yeah, we're not ready for a championship. It's January. We're building. No one talks about the Nuggets when they lose games. No one talks about Timberwolves. It's always the Celtics, man. I had to get it off, man. As I said, I've had it up to here, man. And the media's narrative, man, come here to the Indian Celtics show when you want to listen about the Boston Celtics. I will give you clear cut as it is. I will criticize as I have before, but I will also appreciate, and I will not keep it shallow as the Celtics winning just because they're talented and the Celtics losing because they're weak. Man, we're not mentally weak. I can listen to anything, but not mentally weak. Our boys, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis, Jrue Holiday, Derek White, they work their butts off every day. I'm a proud Celtic fan, and I'm a proud fan of this team. I will root for this team and Joe Mazzulla. I will root for Joe Mazzulla all the time. But whenever I remember Celtics losing to Nuggets by 2, on the last possession of the game. They lost on the last possession of the game, and Kendrick Perkins goes on national television and calls Joe Mazzulla a bird brain, man. This is disgusting. I don't understand, but I just had to get it off my chest. That was that. Thank you for listening to this long rant. Thank you for sharing the podcast. And come here, guys. Come here to the Indian Celtics show if you want Celtics updates. Thank you for listening. We'll be back as always. Let's talk Celtic basketball.